Hey, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. After this video, I'ma have me a Leo, Thailand's finest. No, it's a really good beer here in Thailand. But hey, man, just joking around. Thanks for stopping by. My name is High Dev Jones. On this channel, we talk all things finance, all things investing, and we love to mix in a little travel along with that as well. In this video, we're going to be talking about the trade desk, ticker symbol TTD as in Delta. Okay, so we're going to briefly touch on who these guys are, also some financials, and then we're going to dive into the chart to reveal at which price I'll be buying the trade desk. Now, that's going to be for shares, and it's going to be for long-term option contracts. All right, so stay tuned to the end of this video. So first and foremost, who are these guys, man? Who the heck is the trade desk? All right, so basically they help brands and agencies deliver ads across the internet. So it's going to be everything from your connected TVs to your mobile devices, streaming services, and computers. All right, so essentially what they're doing is they're making it much easier for these advertisers to see what ads are working and who they should be targeting and where. All right, so the trade desk, they have a robust platform, and these advertisers are able to plan, manage, and optimize and measure data for their digital marketing campaigns using the platform that Trade Desk has created. Now, speaking of the platform that has been created, Trade Desk, Jeff Green, that's the CEO, and he started the Trade Desk back in 2009. Prior to that, Jeff started the world's first online advertising exchange, and he sold that to Microsoft. So, he did all that, and then 2009, he starts the Trade Desk. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at some financials. All right, Yahoo Finance, and we click on financials here, and we'll take a look at the total revenue. Total revenue, we can see, is increasing year over year. All right, let's jump over here to the balance sheet. Total assets are doing the same thing, increasing year over year. And we go to the cash flow statement, and the operating cash flow is definitely increasing year over year. Free cash flow is doing the same. All right, good. That's what we want to see. Let's move on down, because you know me. I gotta see what the big dogs are doing. So here we go. Vanguard, they are in for 44.55 million shares. BlackRock, 26.66 million shares, and even Morgan Stanley is involved at 12.64 million shares. All right, so we talked about who these guys are briefly, just dove into the financials briefly. Now it's time to take a look at this chart, where I can let you guys know the price point that I'm looking at to enter this particular position. So what you see here is the daily chart for the trade desk, and in my previous videos I mentioned gaps in the price action. So that's going to be this here. You see that big gap? All right, we have another gap here. Okay, so we have and we have three. So we have three sizable gaps that we can take a look at on this daily chart for the trade desk. And as I mentioned in other videos, gaps are typically going to be filled by the price action. So if we look at the gap here, Now this gap spans from $85 on up to $112. Currently, the price of trade desk is $47.14. Okay, the all-time high is $139.03. No, I'm sorry, $141.53 is the all-time high. 141.53 is the all-time high for the trade desk. All right, and now we're down here at 47.14. So back to the gaps. Now, if gaps are typically filled, let's look at it. So we have a gap here. Now, obviously, this gap has not been filled yet up here, because in order to fill this gap, we have to come back up here to the 112, 113 range. So this gap has not been filled. Now, this gap here, so let's color code these gaps really quick. This orange gap has been closed. Why? Because we came up in price action, we came down, so we didn't fill this orange gap yet. But we went up and then price dropped. When this price dropped, this gap was fully closed. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one. That gap has been closed. Now, these two gaps are the only ones open. So obviously, in order to close this gap, we have to come back up here to a level of 80, let's just say $82. So once we get to $82, this gap will be closed, and then we will be able to delete it. All right, but it hasn't happened yet. And then, like I said before, this gap up here will be closed up here at about 113. All right, so we have that. Now, if we jump over here to the all-time chart, let's get rid of these boxes here, and let's go to the all-time chart. Okay, so this is the huge perspective. You know, we talk about top-down analysis, where we start at a higher time frame and work our way down, a top-down analysis. So here is the big time frame, the all-time. All right, now we're right here at the price action, 47.14, but liquidity. Now, if I'm going to take this highlighter tool, what I'm doing is I'm going to mark this area right here. Now, this yellow area that I'm marking, liquidity is sitting right here. Okay, so basically anything under $39 will be tapping into liquidity at that point. So I'm not buying this stock above $39. Once we drop below $39, I'm interested. We'll be in the area of liquidity, and we'll also be kind of touching a level, an interesting level right about here at 32.86, 32.85. You know, you can just say 32.50. Now, once we get into those low to mid 30s, that's when I'll be entering my positions. Okay, but I definitely would like to see a tap into liquidity. But again, that's going to be once we drop below $39. Okay, so let's hop over here to the daily chart. Okay. Oh, let's delete that. All right, so here's that same view, but on the daily. So, yep, we have liquidity here. All right, so we'll tap into that. But if we look right here at this level, there was some resistance back here. All right, so we got some resistance here. Price action came down, and then we have another little peak right here as well. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little better. Okay, so we've kind of got like two levels of some resistance. So you can take a line and just drag it straight across. That's at about 32.50. So I like anything between $32.50 and $39 for an entry. All right, anything between $32.50 and $39, I'll be entering the trade desk for long-term plays. All right, so, and also once we drop below $39, if you really want to play it safe, you can wait for it to drop below $39, and then you can drop down to a lower time frame, like a 4 hour or a 1 hour, to see at which point do we start to push back to the upside and break structure. All right, so we don't have to jump in as soon as it hits, let's say, $38. We can wait until structure breaks to the upside on like a 4 hour or a 1 hour time frame. All right, I recommend that. So below $39, and then we sit back and we wait for structure to break on a 4 hour or a 1 hour time frame. But I can see that happening between $32.50 and $39. So that's when I'm going to start watching the price action very closely once we reach those levels. And here on TradingView, I'm always setting alerts. So basically, right at $39, I'm going to right click. I'm going to go ahead and add alert. And I'm going to put this right at $39. I'm going to choose crossing down. And I'm going to mark, well, I'm going to choose every time. And then create. So now this yellow dotted line is here. And as soon as the price action comes down to touch this yellow line, I'll get an alert here on my phone, and then I'll know to be watching the trade desk. Okay, you guys, so go ahead, add it to your watch list. This is not financial advice, just letting you know what I'm going to do here. Do your own research. But hey, let me know what you think. Drop in the comments. Are you currently invested in the trade desk? Do you plan on investing? How do you feel about the company? And let's talk about it in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. So hey, please, if you can, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And yeah, you guys. So today is Sunday here in Thailand. I'm gonna get out after I drink my Leo. I'm gonna go out, maybe go to the mall for a little while, and come back and just kind of chill out for the rest of the day. So over and out, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on the next video.